I'm a freshman in college at Channel Islands, like Mrs. Detweiler said. I actually used to go to Redwood from 2007 to 2010, and then I was in ASB 6th grade and yearbook 7th and 8th grade, and I also had Ms. Detweiler for We the People. So today I'm going to be giving you guys a creative speech about organic foods, pesticides, and the company called Monsanto. My speech is an adapted version of 'Twas a Night Before Christmas, and before I begin, I'd like to explain some things. First of all, organic means it relates or has characteristics of living tissues or organisms, and it does not contain chemicals, pesticides, and is not genetically modified. Next, pesticides and chemicals are a preparation of chemicals that destroy plants, fungals, or bugs. And then GMO stands for genetically modified organism, which means that the genetic makeup or DNA of a seed or plant is changed so that it has a different product. And then some examples of this are strawberries and tomatoes are modified with fish genes to keep them from freezing, and goats are actually injected with spider genes to produce more milk. Roundup or herbicide is made by Monsanto, and it's used to kill weeds, but this then leads to something called super weeds, which is a term that's used for a weed that can't be killed by herbicide anymore, so it takes over farms and land. So what is Monsanto? Monsanto is an agrochemical, agrobiological company that just means they make chemicals, Roundup, and they genetically modify seeds. And then Monsanto also makes some other chemicals that I talk about in my poem. Saccharin, which is an artificial sweetener, PCB, which is a dangerous chemical, polystyrene, which is in styrofoam, which is hazardous waste, 2,4-D, which is a herbicide used to make Agent Orange, which was used in the Vietnam War to destroy forests so that the North Vietnamese troops can hide in them. There's also cow growth hormones and aspartame, which also have serious health risks. And there's also something called DDT, which was one of the most popular pesticides used, but 40 years ago it was banned because it had serious health effects. But it is still present in most of the foods and our bodies today. For example, 99% of people tested by the Center for Disease and Control Prevention found breakdown products of DDT in the bloodstream. And then lastly, Monsanto can take over organic farms because the seeds from an inorganic farm travels to an organic farm, which then contaminates them, and Monsanto can then sue them and make them use inorganic seeds. So now you know some background information about it, I'm going to give you guys my speech. So, 'twas a night of organic eating. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and local food was being sold. The farmer's market was open, or so we were told. We would dream of a day when we would all eat organic, and not a pesticide was eaten, so we wouldn't have to panic. The food was grown GMO-free with great care, in hopes that inorganic food would soon disappear. The vegetables were nestled all snug in their beds, while nightmares of pesticide danced in their heads. Visions of Roundup were scary indeed. They were now afraid of the new super weeds. When out on the field arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Tore open the shutters, away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters and threw up the sash. The moon of the breast on the new fallen snow gave a luster of midday to the objects below. When what to my wondering eyes did appear, but a huge agrochemical company, Monsanto. Oh dear! With GMO seeds packaged so quick, I knew in a moment we all might be sick. More rapid than eagles the chemicals came, and Monsanto whistled and shouted and called them these names. Now Roundup, now Saccharin, now PCB and polystyrene, on 2,4-D on cow growth hormones, on DDT and aspartame. To the top of the profit margins they crawl, Now they can cache away all. As contamination spreads through the dirt, Monsanto reaches into their pocket to see what they've heard. So into the body, the chemicals go, with cancer and birth defects to possibly show. With winds sure to blow, the seeds sure will spread, leaving neighboring farmers shaking with dread. Unwillingly using Monsanto's seeds, now these farmers are a part of Monsanto's greed. Small and organic farms are becoming rare because a giant Monsanto doesn't want to play fair. Now we must fight for organic farms so chemicals and pesticides won't bring us harm. Organic foods can help you fight cancer. It might not be a cure, but it could be an answer. Rich with vitamins and minerals and chemical-free, eating organic is good for you and me. Organic can be expensive, that I know for sure, but well worth the cost to keep your body pure. If you want a long life, eat healthy and clean. You'll be happy you did when you're 113. Happy eating, happy organic eating to all, and to all a good night. Thank you.
Yes,
Okay.
good.
So I'm going to explain some things before I begin. Organic means it relates to living tissues or organisms, and it does not contain chemicals or pesticides. Pesticides and chemicals are a preparation of chemicals that destroy plants, fungals, or bugs. And then GMO stands for genetically modified organisms, which means that an organism's genetic makeup, DNA, has been altered so it produces different things. This is usually done in a lab, and some examples of this are strawberries and tomatoes, which are modified with fish genes to keep them from freezing. And then goats are injected with spider genes to produce more milk. And then Roundup or herbicides destroy plants, and it is made by Monsanto, which I'll explain later. And they kill weeds, which then can lead to superweeds. And superweeds means that it's a weed that doesn't die from chemicals anymore, so it takes over bunches of farms. So Monsanto is an agrochemical, agricultural, biotechnology company, which just means that they make chemicals, Roundup, and they genetically modified seeds so that they grow faster and produce more. Monsanto also makes some other chemicals. The ones that I explained in the poem are artificial sweetener, saccharin, PCB, which is a dangerous chemical, polystyrene, which is in styrofoam, which leads to hazardous waste, 2,4-D, which is an herbicide that's used to create Agent Orange, and that's an herbicide that was used in the Vietnam War to destroy the forest so that the Vietnamese troops couldn't hide in there anymore. Also, there's cow growth hormones and aspartame, which have serious health effects. And there's also DDT, which was a very popular pesticide used, but 40 years ago it was banned because of the health risks. And one example of the health risk is that 99% of people tested by the Center for Disease Control and Prevention found breakdown products of DDT in the bloodstream. And then lastly, Monsanto, they take over farms because if they find out that a farmer is accidentally using one of their seeds, they then sue them and make them use all of their inorganic seeds. So now I will be giving you a creative speech. Twas the night before Christmas, but modified so that it could fit what I'm talking about. So, 'twas the night of organic eating. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and local food was being sold, and the farmer's market was open, or so we were told. We dreamed of a day when we would all eat organic, and not a pesticide was eaten, so we wouldn't have to panic. The food was grown GMO-free with great care, in hopes that inorganic food would soon disappear. The vegetables were nestled all snug in their beds,
while nightmares of pesticides danced in their heads. Visions of Roundup were scary indeed. They were now afraid of the new super weeds. When out on the field arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave a luster of midday to the objects below. When what to my wondering eyes did appear but a huge agrochemical company, Monsanto, oh dear. With GMO seeds packaged to sell quick, I knew in a moment we all might be sick. More rapid than eagles, the chemicals came, and Monsanto whistled and shouted and called them these names. Now Roundup, now Satrin, now PCB and Polystyrene, on 2,4-D, on cow growth hormones, on DDT and aspartame. To the top of the profit margins they crawl, now they can cash away all. As contamination spreads through the dirt, Monsanto reaches into their pocket to fix what they hurt. So into the body the chemicals go, with cancer and birth defects to possibly show. With wind sure to blow, the seeds sure will spread, leaving neighboring farmers shaking with dread. Unwillingly using Monsanto's seeds, now these farmers are a part of Monsanto's greed. Small and organic farms are becoming rare because the giant Monsanto doesn't want to play fair. Now we must fight for organic farms so chemicals and pesticides won't bring us harm. It might not be, organic foods can help you fight cancer, and it might not be a cure, but it could be an answer. Which, with vitamins and minerals and chemical-free, eating organic is good for you and me. Organic can be expensive, that I know for sure, but well worth the cost to keep your body pure. If you want a long life, eat healthy and clean. You'll be happy you did when you're on 113. Happy eating organic to all, and to all a good night. Thank you.